Welcome to the It Works Sampling App How-Tos. We're going to do this in 3 sections. The first section will be just a brief overview of the different areas of the app. The second portion will be how to get your prospects' information via offering a sample so you can send one. And then third will be the actual sending of a sample to your prospect along with the follow-up system to ensure good conversion. So let's get started with the brief overview of the app itself. Here we have 3 sections. You have the main recruiting section right here that is how you go ahead and offer samples, send samples. It manages your prospects. You'll have alerts when a sample is requested, recorded here. And then, of course, this will allow you to do your follow-up activity here under messaging. In addition, there's a banner section that you always have something there to see. And then upper left is an admin menu where these how-to videos are logged, as well as the ability to connect to your IW Connect app. Go down here, you will be able to contact us. If you have any problems with this app, you can submit a ticket directly to our system. And of course, if you wish, but no need, you can log out at any time. So that covers the brief 3 sections of the app. Now, let's go ahead and get into the gathering of information of your prospects so that you can send them a sample. The way this works is that you will select right here the Send a Sample. Upon selecting that, you will see what credits you have available that have been purchased through your IW Connect app, and so that you'll be able to go ahead and send samples when it's appropriate. At this time, if you need to, you can purchase credits by clicking here and going back to the IW Connect app. Under Send Sample, when you press the button, has 2 functions. The first will be the ability to get the prospect's information, to get their info prior to sending a sample. This is good because it allows your prospect to go ahead and submit their address information where they type it accurately and you do not have to have the address in order to then send the sample. So let's get started with offering this right here and getting the prospect's info. So when you tap on it, what you have available to you is the ability to share a great video with an offer to get a sample to your prospects. You'll be able to share them one-to-one via text, email, chat apps such as Facebook Messenger and WhatsApp. That will show up as you go through the sequence to share. Of course, you can also post this to social media, the offer, if you will. However, keep in mind, you may get a great number of responses wanting that free sample. So let's just start with share right here. What we have written for you is a pre-written text and email message that you can send to your prospect and then have them be able to give up their information for you to send a sample. Keep in mind that these will be able to be changed. It's just a preview, and since we use your own text and your own email client, you'll be able to change these prior to going out, so we will show you. All you do is hit Next, and at this point you have the ability to go ahead and offer this to somebody you just met, possibly at a coffee shop or whatever, by just putting in their first name, last name, and some information here. That's one way to do it, okay? If you're going to send via chat app like Facebook Messenger, where you may not even have their email or phone number, this is a great place to go ahead and put their first name and last name at that point because they're not in your device. This button is going to allow you to go ahead and access your device to grab your prospect one at a time. No loading of all your prospects, just one at a time to do that. Once you have loaded someone into the system via this button, they will always be available for you here, so you do not have to go back in future sends. Okay? So let's go ahead and select here. This grabs your address book, and I'm going to go ahead and just grab myself so you can see that. Okay, and then you see, and by doing that, I load myself right into the system. At that point, they're loaded in. They will become a prospect now as it goes into the system, and you just hit Next. And at that point, you can choose your method to send. As I said, you have text, email, messenger, and if you do not have these apps on your phone, they won't show up. Only the apps you have show up, but this is just a demo example of all the options. I'm going to go ahead and select text so you can see how it works. Hit Next. And then it has a reminder system in here if you wish to be reminded to follow up with this prospect in case they don't select and provide the information for you to send a sample. So I'll go ahead and select 3 days just to have an example of that. And the first time you do it, it's going to ask that, no problem. You go yes. And then you can see it grabs your text client on your phone. So you can see as I tap through here that you can go ahead and change this information if you wish, but please do not touch this link right here. This link right here links you to your prospect for purposes of marketing. So just, if you're going to adjust here. And then I'll send it. Okay, it'll come in as a text message to you, and then this is what, to the prospect, and this is what it looks like to your prospect. Very simple, to the point, and they can click the link right here. And when they click the link, it goes to what we call the sample prospect page where you can get their information. And as you can see, you'll get an alert that they have viewed and clicked your image by getting an image viewed alert. Very nicely done, so at least you know the engagement level. And you see this great looking page, mobile optimized, okay, and allows the prospect to go ahead and do two things. They can request a sample, or they can skip a sample and go right to saving discounts at your replicated page. As you can see, okay, we have your replicated information here. The app knows this and will put that in there for you. So they have two choices. Let's talk about Get My Sample. At this point, they go to a Get My Sample page, and this is where they're going to provide their information. The app itself, since you've already loaded these pieces of information during the send sequence, it'll preload it for your prospects so they don't have the trouble of having to put it in. And then they can just put in an address, and I'll put in a sample address so you can see how this system works very nicely. And I'll go ahead and put in a different address here. And of course, what's nice about this system is that generally prospects know exactly how to go ahead and you know, have a easy way to go ahead and put it right into the system versus you typing it in. Generally, prospects do a better job. So I'll put Get My Sample, and once they submit this request for a sample to you, a number of things happen, okay? First of all, as it loads through here, you will see that it's going to go ahead and give a prospect a right here little nice information about that you'll be getting with them. It also showcases the fact that they can go ahead and click here and watch a video again if they'd like. So it's a very nice system, works fantastic. So now let's go back to the app. So that happens over there. We go back to the app, of course, and then what's going on here is that now you have a new prospect that you can send, okay? And let's go down. Let's go to the alerts button. So what I've done is I've tapped on the alerts button in order to go ahead and call up any alerts that I've gotten to date, such as the link visited and things like that, okay? And let me pause right here. So you see this comes through, and look at that. It's a beautiful alert that has the sample request right here, okay? It says who it is, and it tells you that you've got to go send the sample now. It says it will not be shipped automatically. You go send sample. So that's good. You've got the alert in. You close that. If you need to see the alerts again, we're in the alert button right here. You can see there was an image viewed when they went ahead, and I'll tap on that. You can see that they saw that when you went ahead and hit the link. Okay, so let's go ahead and get out of the alerts button, which is right here where we are. Let's go back over, okay, to the prospect section to see what's going on there. So now what you see is you have a new prospect right here in the system. Of course, for demo, I have 3 of them in there. Okay, so you've offered a sample. Okay, let's go back to home just so see it. Tap up here, go to home. Okay. So that is how the offering or gathering the information from the prospect phase goes. You simply go into send a sample, go into get prospect info, send the video to them, and when they accept this sample offer, you will be alerted by an alert, as you saw, to go ahead and send the sample, and you will have their information. So now we want to go ahead and we want to send a sample. So let's go ahead and go to here. We hit send a sample, okay, and now we're going to hit send again right here, and there it is. Nice send a sample. You tap on it, and it's going to show a beautiful picture of what your prospect's going to receive. Shows that it's 1 credit, beautiful, easy to use, and right here you have a nice button that says send sample. So you hit that. So now you can go to your existing prospects, okay, you can tap on it, and what you see is by tapping on that person, the address is already preloaded for you. There's no typing of an address by you. We'll go ahead and hit next. Confirms the address. I'm going to use the original address, and this is where it sits. And at this point, all you have to do is hit the send button, and by sending that sample, what happens is it goes ahead and will send it, and it will give you a clarification, okay. And then when you go back to send a sample now, you will see a record of the actual product being shipped and is now ready to ship. And when it is shipped, you will go ahead and get a ship status right here. And all of your sample sends will be loaded chronologically right here for you to keep track of. Okay? So that's how the send a sample situation works. And then now that you've sent a sample, we're going to flow into the messaging and the retargeting of your prospects to show you what's going to be happening to help you convert the sample prospect into a great customer. Okay? So let's do that. So I'm going to go back to the home button right here, and just so we can see it again. So now what happens in the system is I'm going to select messaging, okay? What's happening in the system is once the sample is shipped, at that exact moment, a couple of things happen. An autoresponder email will be sent to your prospect notifying them that the samples are on their way, okay? In conjunction, you will get a push smart alert to you reminding you to go in here and send message 1. And you'll be able to share this with them. And what it is a backup to the email autoresponder, because emails don't always get through, nor do they get read. We know that. It keeps you involved with your very important prospect by you sending a follow-up text message here. So you would just send it out to them, and they would get that, and they could go ahead and check it out, and they get to view a very nice video to reaffirm their sample coming and to be excited about what's on the way. Okay, so then let's go back to home again, and let's go back to messaging. So the next thing that happens is, okay, is that 10 days later, roughly, there's going to be another autoresponder going out. That's covering both the shipping time and the usage time to make sure they have a chance to try their Skinny Brew. Okay, at that point, they'll get another autoresponder talking to them about the Skinny Brew, have they tried it, and having the option to go ahead and purchase at that point as well. It's a great page they go to. In addition, you will get a push alert to share this second message with them again via text message. And you can see, I can't wait here to see what you think. And this is to generate conversation. And if you don't hear from your prospect after sending this text, of course you can give them a call and talk to them as well. But that's really what we have here, is the ability to share on the second message right to them. And then just a day or so later, right here, okay, the prospect, your prospect, is going to get another email autoresponder sent to them to go ahead and try to purchase and save 40% on the first order. In addition, you have this nice message. You'll get a push alert again for the third time asking you to send message number 3. And this is what message number 3 looks like. Keep in mind, you can modify these messages, but they've been written by corporate to give you the best chance to go ahead and get a great conversion. So I want you to know that this is what they get next, and again, you can follow up after that. So that concludes the 3 sections of how this app is going to work for you. First was an overview of the different functions. The second is how you're going to go ahead and be able to get the prospect's info under the Send a Sample button. You can go there, offer the sample offer to them, they fill in their information, you are alerted to that they want a sample, and the information is preloaded into your existing prospects, okay? And then the third section was, of course, how do you send a sample, and then the automated system that happens right after sending a sample, where your prospect is getting messaging as well as you're getting alerted to follow up with your prospect. So I hope you enjoy the sampling app, and good luck with the prospecting.